Good morning, everyone. It is Jean, and this is Friday's Stitch Tips and Chat. Sorry, there's several things going on in the background there that were squirrels, I guess, distracting me this morning. But welcome, everyone. And hello to Guess Who Nancy, Michelle with Crafts and More. June Hanson is here. Welcome. You are the early birds this morning, but hopefully everything is showing up all right. Katie Crafts is here this morning. Hello, Terry. Hello, Carol. Of course, she's going to be here this morning. It is great to see all of you on this wonderful Friday morning. And I am going to see if I can switch the view here just for a moment. It wouldn't let me earlier, and I don't know why it is not working properly, but let me know if you are seeing me larger right now, please. I'd like to know if that is working correctly. But good morning, everyone. I hope you are going to enjoy what I have for you this morning. I have a couple things to share with you, but okay, very good. It's just saying something different than what it normally does. So it was like, okay, they always have to be changing things. Once we get used to one way, they upgrade or update something and change it, and we have to figure it out all over again. I don't know why they just can't leave things alone. But thank you. I'm larger. Oh no, I don't want to be larger. But I know what you meant, June. Thank you. Okay, awesome. Thank you, everyone. And you're seeing just me, right? But okay. So this morning I am going to be sharing where you should be at and what March's instructions are for the jellied charm quilt that is behind me. That has been our first quarter's project. Good morning, Nancy of our treasured home. Welcome. It is great to see you. And Debbie is here from In Quilt Fact. I'm here on the road, but here won't be able to chat. But I got you, boo. All right, sister. It is great to know. Drive safe and enjoy wherever you are on the road too. See you later. But okay. Michelle. Oh, yeah. I already said hello to Michelle. She was one of the early birds in there waiting this morning. So, but awesome. Okay. But I will be saying what the next steps are for the month of March, which is the final month of the quarter for that project. And there is Lynn from Just for the I was going to say just for the fur of it, but it's just for the health of it. Oh, mercy. I don't know. I'm just not with it this morning. Bear with me. I will try to get better as we go on. Hasn't been a good morning. I'm sorry. And that's sometimes it's just that way, But so we will be touching base on the jellied charm quilt. That was our first quarter project, as I said. I will be showing something that I have completed. Donna Dixon is listening while at work. Welcome. Thank you. Kathy is here. Awesome. And I will also, as promised, because I know that there have been those of you that have been waiting patiently. Maybe some of you have already started on your own, but I will be sharing some steps for getting started on our Slow Stitching Follow Your Heart project. And I will also be talking a little bit about what our second quarter stitch along this time instead of quilt along, because I want to include all of you. I know there are some of you that don't quilt that follow me, that are into the slow stitching and the embroidery. And there are some of you that are into the crocheting and the cross stitch, which we do have a cross stitch project that is coming up very soon too. And then, of course, I'm still in the process of designing the crochet afghan for the crochet along. So those are all coming up, all on the schedule, in the books. Just, you know how it is. Not enough hours in the day, not enough days in the week, not enough weeks in the year. But we will get to them all eventually. So what is everyone working on this morning? Would love to know. But the first thing that I will go ahead and share with you, and it was funny that I can't believe that no one on Wednesday night when I was working on this noticed the mistake that was in this quilt when we were working on the charity quilts. I'm going to back up so I can hold this up. And I think I have it right side up. Yep, I can tell. But I did finish the quilt that I was working on for charity, the 4-patch quilt. So this is the finished quilt. It is quilted, which I quilted that on my domestic machine. And I have the binding on, need to sew that down by hand onto the back yet. But that is the quilt that I was working on Wednesday evening for making the charity quilt as a preview segue into the, put my thread with that so I don't lose it, as a segue into the first annual Quilt for Charity Marathon that is coming up this Sunday. And it will be live right here on my YouTube channel via Zoom, hopefully with several people in the panel joining me. And we will be working on making charity quilts. So hopefully I will see more of you there. Hello, Danielle. Welcome, welcome. And I think I saw somebody else pop in, maybe not. Kelly, yes, Kelly from Kelly's Quilts and Cruises. And Nancy, if you just use the exclamation point and the first name of the ones with the channels there, all you have to, the links will pop in for their channels. It would be exclamation point Danielle, exclamation point Kelly, exclamation point Lynn. I think those are the ones I see right off the bat. If there's anybody that I've missed, I'm sorry. But yeah, that should pop those in. Good morning, Charlotte. It is great to see you also. All right. So, and Andrea is here. Andrea is one of the channel members, which is Stitching Friends. Welcome, welcome. And Nancy of Our Treasured Home is also a member of the Stitching Friends, which is the membership for my channel. You can find out all about that with that join button. And I also did want to mention, and I will go over some of this again at the end for those of you popping in later, but the Zoom Stitch Day for those of you in the Facebook group, it's the Facebook group. You don't have to be a member of my channel. This is for the Facebook group. Captain Stitches and Friends is this Saturday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the link for that is already been put in a post in the Facebook group. So hope to see many of you there. Okay, so let's get on then with, let's go ahead and talk about the Jelly Charm Quilt and where you should be on that by now. Good morning, Terry. It is great to see you. Oh, that's awesome. Lucky, lucky you, Terry. She says she just won a snippets pack from Cotton Cuts. Woohoo. All right. And I don't think I've missed anybody, but I was talking about, and ooh, that's coming up a funny color back there. Sorry that I don't have that closer for you to see it, but you can kind of tell, and those of you working on it will be able to tell where we are on that. Which mine, of course, because I have to keep ahead to show you what the steps are, is the top is now complete. You by now should have, or you've got almost 1 week left in the month to finish it, but you should have all your rows sewn together. And in between those two narrow borders where my finger is right now, the piano key border, you should have the strip sets made for that, the subcuts, and ready to piece those together end to end. Because the month of March, you will be sewing on all of the borders for the quilt, which will be the two narrow borders that you see, the piano key border, and then of course the outer border. That is what you need to do for March, which is the last Friday in the month of February. That is why I am giving you the instructions for March now, because we talk about it during the Friday Stitch Tips and Chat, and this is the last one of the month. So if you have any questions on that, please feel free to ask. But that takes care of both the 4-patch quilt, showing you the finished project of that, and where you should be on our quarterly quilt along project. And to share with you what the next quarter, because I normally and always try to make sure that the patterns that I share for quilt alongs, sew alongs, stitch alongs, crochet alongs are free. Unfortunately, the one for the next quarter, which will be April, May, June, is a paid pattern. But for those of you that like embroidery, applique, and that type of thing and stitching, along with making a quilt, I think you are going to like this pattern. It is a very cute pattern from one of my favorite designers, Hatched and Patched, and it is called Peaceful Garden. I just thought that was an awesome project for working on for those months, because that is when we are really in our gardens. So that is the pattern, and it can be purchased at Rusty Crow, and I will be leaving that link in the description box. You will be able to find the information for that there, but it is a cute little one. It finishes out at 12.5 by 17.5, and it has, as you can see, some, quilting method on it. It's a little quilt. It has the applique in the middle, and then it has the embroidery in each one of the little patches going around in that center. A really, really cute pattern. So those of you that want to do that, you can go ahead and be ordering your pattern, getting your supplies for that, so you will be ready in April when we start this project. And I will share that also in the Facebook group, a picture of it, so you know what it is, and the links will be in there also. But a really, really cute little project. And everyone is being quiet. The chat is not moving. You have to chat, people. This is called Stitch Tips and Chat. So let me turn on now our other. I'm going to unpin myself. Okay, there we go. And now we have both on, and I'm going to go ahead and pin the other camera for just a minute, if it's going to let me. There we go. So we can see what we have for our promised project for those that have been waiting for this one, that requested to do this as a sew along. And of course, I did mention that I will be doing mine in the form of the, I forgot, I'm not showing myself there, of the Snippet Roll. So this is my bobbin. Sorry, we'll move that a little slower. That my project will be going on. You can make yours in any method that you want. You can do it as a book. You can do it as a single, just on one piece of fabric project, or you can stitch along on your long, which it's going to be 44, whatever the width of the fabric is, length, and it will be several projects on that snippet roll. And this will be the first one that we are starting with. And Danielle says she's here. Thank you. Debbie Williams is here. Good morning, Debbie. She is also one of the members and supporters of the channel and the Stitching Friends. Welcome, welcome. It is great to see you. You only see me. It didn't work on pinning the one that I'm showing. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Why did it work when I pinned myself? You're not seeing my hand over here on this, is what you're saying. Your shirt matches the honeybee candle. Yes, it does. I'm waiting to see. I guess you are not seeing this when I went and put pin on this. Okay. Are you seeing both of me now and you can see this? Okay. I wonder why that is not cooperating this morning. But okay, so we'll have to leave it this view and I won't be able to make that big, I guess. That's too bad. I'm sorry. But anyway, this is the project that everyone has been waiting on. I have it printed in black and white because I'm going to choose my own colors and not go on the colors that the project actually was. This was found on Pinterest. There doesn't lead anywhere, so I can't find any information on it and credit anyone for it. We will be doing it in the likeness of this. So thank you. Yeah, I was trying to make it so we'd only see this one larger, but I guess that wasn't working this morning. So you are going to need to choose some fabrics for your background, something for, and we'll hold that up there to put your Follow Your Heart embroidery on. You will want your method of making yo-yos. I use the yo-yo makers, and I have these little templates for hearts. That's what I will be using. And I will be using the smaller one that I have for tracing the hearts for that project. And of course, sitting right here, you can see that I have a bowl of different threads and everything that are going to match with all of these. We're going to set this to the side a minute so we can show you my box here that contains all the fabrics that I have pulled for this little project that I will be going through and deciding as I go what I am going to use on that. So what I want you to have ready, and also I did mention, let me tell you again, once again, let's get that under there, that I do use this book, and that camera is now frozen. There we go. Whoops. As a resource in my slow stitching, and it also shows information for making a snippet roll in there. If you are interested in getting that, you can find that on Amazon. Sorry about the glare there, but it's Stitched Memories, Telling a Story Through Cloth and Thread by Tilly Rose, another one of my favorite designers. So we'll set that off. But you're going to want to have some lace in there, any trims, embellishments that you're going to want to use. Just pull a bunch of stuff that you think you might want to use on your project, some buttons, some beads if you have it, all that kind of thing, and have that all in a little container and ready. And you will just be pulling from that as you go. And to give you an idea of how you can change your mind as you go, I originally, hello, Becky, welcome, good morning. She says she followed her heart 35 years ago and married the best man in the world. You couldn't have. I married the best man in the world. More in love with him as time goes by. Yes, that's kind of how it works, doesn't it, Becky? But awesome. I think we have several best men in the world. And Glenda is here. She just popped in to say hello. Hello, Glenda. Great to see you. And we have another Glenda popping in at the same time. We have Glenda Crouch and we have Glenda Hyde. And she says, good morning. First time watching you. Subscribe to you from Mona Did What yesterday. Well, awesome. Thank you. It is great to see you here. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. You may have to go back and watch the replay because we've gone over some stuff in the beginning that you may miss. I will go over some of it again, but may not touch on everything. But yes, awesome. Great to see you. So I have already, I thought that I was going to, and you are going to need batting or felt as your base because mine is a snippet roll, of course. You can't get felt. You could, you could attach it together, but this is going to be 44, the width of the fabric, 44 inches long that I am working on. So I have batting that is cut that also. And let me give you a measurement of what I do have mine cut at. I have it cut at 7 inches. If you are doing it as a snippet roll on a spool or a bobbin, you will need to determine your width by whatever the width, hold that up over here this time, of your bobbin or spool is. That's how you'll determine the width, and you can have it whatever length that you want. But I originally thought that I was going to use this cute little fabric that is called More Little Memories by Little Quilts for Henry Glass and Company. But the more I looked at it and putting the other things on it, I changed my mind. I will save that for a different project. And I think that this fabric is going to be my base to put everything else on instead, because I have several beautiful colors that go with the colors that are in that already. We have this pink. I'm going to move that so you can see how you kind of pull colors out from your focus fabric. We even would be able to use this little plaid if I wanted to. But then we have some darker tones in there. And I know that we have 3 different hearts that are going up the side. So there is a dark one. Here is a darker one. That really blends with the little berries that are on the flower there. And we also have covering up my blue one down there, but we'll add that one in there, which those are showing up a lot more reddish pink than what they are. There are actually some deep rose reds and whatever. And then we also have this homespun that would be able to be used in there. But that is kind of how you go about choosing what you want as your base and your background. And like I said, I have some lace already picked out for that. But yeah, it kind of looks like a jumbled mess over there right now. But that is how you go about choosing your fabrics and stuff for your project. The colors that you see in a pattern are just a suggestion. You do not have to use what that calls for. And Glenda says to Kelly, she loves her channel. That's awesome to let her know. Thank you. And I don't know if any of the links have been dropped by Nancy yet. I haven't seen them come up. And if I go over there, it's going to take me away from the screen and I'm going to have to find it again. So I'm sorry. But Terry, if you are still here, all you have to do is click the exclamation point in their first name and their links will come up. Or if any of my other mods are here, I'm sorry about that. But I don't think that I saw any of them drop. So let me see what everybody else is saying. Kelly says that will be pretty. Yes, I think it's going to be a lovely, beautiful project. And Glenda says to the other Glenda, you will love Jean, and P.S. You have a great name. That's funny. Thank you, Glenda. And there's a beautiful fabric. And she says Kelly says she may not have too many videos coming up though. Too busy with life. Oh, goodness, 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 goodness. We don't even want to go there right now. And Jean says, that's the same to Glenda. That's the same thing that she tells me. Yes, it's Jean, and my other Jean is here. Awesome. So, and Andrea says, I love all those fabrics. Can you explain what the big spool thingy is that you showed? I haven't seen that before. This is actually a antique vintage wooden spool that comes off a manufacturing company that either, makes threads or they make rope. You will find that in factories. These are spools that go on the machinery that the stuff winds around as they are making twine or rope or threads, that type of thing. And so you can find these. Sometimes quilt shops will have some of them if you're lucky. And you really have to search. You just have to search to be able to find some place to find them. I have a few that I think this one I got at an antique store, but that's what that is, and that is what my roll, my snippet roll, is going to be attached to when it is done, and then it will roll all around this, and you unroll it to display and show your work afterwards. I hope that helped explain that a little bit better. And Becky says, I just ordered Stitched Memories and supposed to arrive tomorrow. Awesome, Becky. You are going to like that. And Junebug is here. Good morning. And yes, June Hansen has been here. All right. So that is how you kind of choose your fabrics and then go through from there. You are going to, of course, be choosing the fabrics for the three little hearts down the side, and they are on a fabric and some lace by themselves. There's another different fabric over on this side that you will choose, some buttons, the yo-yo flowers, and there's embroidery added to that as well. And I do suggest that not the stems and the leaves that are for the flowers. You'll be able to embroider that once you attach it. But I would do the embroidery on the follow your heart. I know you're not going to be able to see that very well. But the part that you're doing follow your heart, I would do the embroidery on that before I attach it to the rest of the fabric and then attach that down. But as you add your base, and you will cut that the size that you want it and have that on top of your batting, and you are going to stitch that down. Make sure that you don't have the fabric that's going to be the back on your batting yet, because then all your stitches are going to show and you don't want that. So you're just going to be attaching it to your batting for now, and you will just lay your items across that. I think I don't know yet, but we'll just kind of throw that in there. But I think I will probably be using this blue over on the side there. And I might use this cute plaid. Maybe not. We will see. We might have to work with that. We might end up cutting part of this memory one. Would even look good over there that the hearts will go down on. But you just play around with it until you find what you like. And then I will be choosing out. I will probably be using these three fabrics that I showed you for my heart applique. And then I will be choosing from the others that are in here for the yo-yos. And that is how you build that. But you are just going to baste that down first, and then you will be doing the embroidery work. So that is to get you started, get an idea, gather all your stuff, and then I will be doing some tutorial videos that will be recorded and not live, that will help show the process of that you will be able to see also. And those will No schedule. It'll just be whenever I am able to do the video, and we'll let you know, of course, and you will get notifications, but also in the Facebook group when those are uploaded. So let me see what I have. What I have found. I'm sorry, Becky, I don't mean to be an enabler. I know you did say that, but that's kind of what we call it when, she says that she has found that I love the books that you show. I have a lot of them, so look out, Becky. And I just lost my voice there. No, that is optional. You can do yours any way that you want, Andrea. You can just do it as each page individually, and then you put them together into a book. You can do each one as an individual project, whatever you want. You can do just the follow your heart and not do any of the others that I'm going to add to my roll. It is totally up to you. And we can, yeah, if you are in the Zoom or whatever tomorrow, we can go over some more of that in more detail also. And as I said, in the tutorials and everything that I do, we will go over that more in detail also. Yes, but you do not need a spool. There are other items that you can use if you can't find a spool and you do want to do it as a snippet roll. It doesn't have to be a spool. You can just find, maybe you have an old rolling pin you want to use or something like that. That would be an awesome thing to use. And a spindle off of a chair. There are many things that when you look around, you may find out that could be a good substitute for a wooden spool. So those were just some ideas that just popped into my head as I was thinking about what you could use instead. So, and let's see. Our treasure's home's name is Nancy, Glenda. Hello, Beverly. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is great to see you. And there are several of our content creators with us here this morning, Beverly. If you could use the exclamation point and their first name, it will drop their links for any that you can do that for. I would greatly appreciate it. And Beverly was also gifted a membership to the channel on Wednesday evening. So she is also a member of the channel presently and the Stitching Friends. So welcome. And Stir is here with us this morning, also another member of the channel and Stitching Friends. She says she is late here on the landing pad. We'll watch whole episode later. Okay, awesome. But okay, I think I have caught everyone in that. But goodness, I went through the stuff a little bit quicker than what I went. And of course, I forgot to go over the threads and everything. But after you choose your fabrics, that's when you will pull from your thread collection, whatever it is that you use. I use a lot of Valdani pearl cotton, both size 8 and size 12. I have a massive amount of DMC floss, so always have that to pull from. This is the thread that I will be used for basting down the pieces before they actually have the final stitching that we do in it. And of course, I have my handy dandy, leftover batting roll up pin cushion there with some pins to pin the items down the fabrics as we cut them before they are basted down. And I also have a needle threader in here. And on my lap app, if I move that over and remove some of this, which this I will show you as I pull this up. That is the back. But when I talk about, the width of the fabric, yes, this is, and that will be my backing fabric right there. And I have the part pinned up out of the way for the section that I will be working on right now. But yes, that is how long that my snippet roll is going to be. You can call it a snippet roll, a bobbin roll, a spool roll, whatever you want to refer to it as. There's many names for it. But I will be adding different projects as I go along until I get all the way to the top of this. It may take the entire year. It may, I may be finished before the year is up, and then I can just add to it if I want to in another form, but that shows that. But this is, for those of you that don't know what a lap app is, this is my lap app, and it adjusts so that you can get it in whatever. I was gonna say this one, yeah, makes it go that way. Excuse me. And this one should, yeah, be able to adjust it up and down. But I'm probably making you dizzy, but we'll stop that. And this is a cute little cover that I made. It came with a cover, and it comes with the instructions to make more covers for it if you want. So of course I had to make one that matched my cottage instead. And it has a little pocket over here that I have a little ruler in, whatever, writing tools or whatever you may need. And then I have a needle minder on here to be able to keep my needles. And if I can, I'm going to bring it over here to show you the base of it, but it has a magnet there, and this is my thread conditioner. There's little spindles. I have my thimble and for my finger, a couple spools of thread, and then there is a magnet here that holds your scissors. So if you are someone that does a lot of embroidery type work, slow stitching, that type of thing, these are awesome to have. And this is the little light that is similar to the one, if you saw the unboxing of the sampler box that I did yesterday, they had a light very similar to that on there, and that is just, whoa, wrong direction, attached to the bottom with Velcro underneath there. So that you can turn on and have a little light over that. But that is what I use. It takes the stress off your shoulders and your arms, because when you hold that in your lap, that's a lap app, you are able to rest your hands on it while you are doing your arms on it while you are doing your stitching, instead of holding them up the whole entire time. I saw that and I thought you were telling me I was chattering, Lori Clark. Good morning, good morning. Thank you. Oh, and Donna Dixon is also here. Good morning to you also. Yes, that is a great little table. I actually have two of these because I am out in the cottage a lot of the time, and then I go in the house, and when I'm in the house, I am sitting and always doing handwork. My hands are never idle, I will tell you that. If I am sitting down, I am stitching on something. But yes, it is cool. They are a little pricey. You can find them on Amazon, or you can go to lapapp.com, I think is the name of it. That is the original designer, but it's the same thing in Amazon as the Lap app. It does get shipped from the Lap app if you order it through Amazon. I will leave a link for that. But I have two because I leave one out here so that I don't have to carry it back and forth from the house and the cottage. And so I have two of them and use them all the time. Another thing that I know that I have shown every time that I do hand stitching is this cute little hand embroidery stitches at a glance guide. I usually keep that on hand because even though we stitch all the time, sometimes we kind of forget now. How do I do that stitch? How do I start it? Which direction do I go? This is a cute little resource to have, and those are found on Amazon as well, and I will leave the link for that also. But those are cute little things. And my favorite marking tool is the Bohin, Bohin, the same as the needles that I like to use. But that is what I love to use for marking, along with the General's chalk marking pencil. That is my favorite chalk one, and I only use white. I do not use any other colors chalk, except this is actually a lead chalk. Lead chalk, that doesn't make sense, but it's a lead type chalk that is in this Bohin chalk pencil. And then my favorite scissors are the Havel scissors. And it is the small ones. They have big fingertips on it. That is what I love to use for all of my projects. And then, of course, always a small pair as well. And that fits right on that magnet down there. So those are some of the other things that you might want to pull and have along and ready for that project. Goodbye, Kelly. Thank you for popping by. She has friends. Oh, she has to get to work now. Yes. See y'all around the tube. Yes, we seem to follow each other around and around and around and around, and all those wonderful content creators that are on there that we all love to watch. Thank you so much, Beverly, for dropping those links. I really appreciate it. Gonna have to do something special for Beverly. She does so much work while she's on here. Oh, thank you, Beverly. But okay, so I got done a little quicker than I expected today, except I did plan on, I'm sorry, I do not know what I did, but my rib cage feels like I rammed into something and I didn't. I mean, I woke up that way. I have no idea what I did, but it's rather sore. Oops. It's like, and yeah, now I'm running over my foot again with the chair. All kinds of problems this morning. But I thought that I would just while we chat a little bit in the chat. I've got a few minutes that will go. And if anybody has any other questions, welcome, Gladys. It is great to see you, the Confident Quilter. Good morning. And if I've missed anybody, I do not mean to. It's just that sometimes with everything else that is going on in that chat, it gets away and we don't get to see everything, which I see the tip of one comment here. And of course, that just took my thing. Yeah, that's why I don't like to click on this, because it took me away for myself. Still here for you, but I can't see what I was looking for. But now I have to find myself back here. There we go. But yeah, anytime I click on the screen, it takes myself. I can't see myself. It takes me away. So, but yes, I have this binding ready, and I think I can pin myself. I think you did say that did work earlier. Are you only seeing me now? Larger. That worked earlier, so hopefully that is working now. I don't know why it didn't work for the other view. Don't set anything up any differently than any other time, so I have no idea why that wouldn't switch and spotlight the other one this morning. Part of hitting that go live button. Likes to do strange things for us. Thank you, Carol. All right, because I am just going to sit here while we chat now, and if you have any questions at all that you want to ask, anything that you want to tip on or anything, you can go ahead and feel free to ask the last about 15 minutes that we will still be on, and I will see if I can answer for you. Or if there is anything that you would like to see in a tutorial, let me know, and I can see about putting that on the schedule also and helping you out that way. I thought of you when I said that, Danielle. She says she was just typing. It was the go live button. It's funny, but yeah, there seems to be something every day. And it was about 15, 20 minutes before I'm supposed to go live. And I lost half the power in my stitching cottage. It's never done that before. I have no idea, but all of a sudden I was sewing, and all of a sudden, the heater went off, part of the lights went off, and the sewing machine went off. And I'm like, That's interesting. And of course, where I plug my laptop in, that was also off. So I had to go in and ask the huppy if he could check in to see, which one it was and get the power back on. And we were able to get it back on, thank goodness. Or I don't know what. I don't know what would have happened and what I would have done. But so it's been an interesting morning, like I said. Can you explain the stitch you are doing right now? I am just sewing my binding on, and it's just a regular I'm sorry because I can't get overhead for you to see. I might be able to if I unpin me, I can show you how I do my binding. Maybe it's hard to get under here and the hand not get in the way, and I don't even know if you can see my needle right there, whether it's even going to show up. But it's just the same as if you've ever done applique, but you just take your needle between the fabric right underneath where your binding is, bring it up right in that fold, and that is how I sew my binding on. And I do the back by hand because it's relaxing and I like to do it by hand. But I don't know if you can see that or not, Jean, but that is how I do that. Just a little stitch. They're about, a 1/4 inch away. Enough so we don't call it a toe catcher. If you're familiar with that term, if you ever had a grandmother that you sewed with or anything, they'd talk about, the length of your stitches. She'd go, oh, those are toe catchers. You take those out. Make your stitches smaller. But that, I'm going to park that right there and see what I may have missed. And Glenda Crouch says, I have really started enjoying hand stitching because of you and your channel. Well, thank you, Glenda. That is awesome to hear. Thank you for sharing that, because that is why I started my YouTube channel, is because I just want to share the love of quilting and stitching that I have with others and hope to inspire somebody else to broaden their horizons on what they do and possibly find something that they also enjoy. So thank you very much for sharing that. And Lynn says, I wanted to join the charity sew along on Sunday, but I am so new to quilting. I honestly don't have any extra or enough fabric here. And I hadn't planned a trip to town. Oh, well, that's all right, Lynn. I'm sorry. If you live close enough and we could zap it there, I could probably send you a kit real quick. Real quick. But if you want to join the panel, let me know. You can cheer us on. And Glenda Crouch says, my question is, have you ever made needle keepers, or as I call them, needle books? Yes, I have several needle books that I have shared on my channel, showing how I go about making them and everything. And I have a little one in the process. If you go back through some of the videos, you will find some, Glenda. And I also, as part of the projects that we do, have a needle book or a pincushion, normally of the month, that we do. And that is also part of what we do as a sew along in the Facebook group, Captain Stitches and Friends. So yes, I love doing needle books. Needle keepers I refer to as this magnetic one. And then needle books. Love them. I have a needle book for almost every project because I just love making them. Andrea says, I believe that is called the invisible Hemingway stitch. I have never, ever heard of that stitch, Andrea. That is a new one to me. And I have been doing hand stitching of all types for 50 years. But that's a new one to me. I've never heard it referred to as that before. It is just, I mean, it's exactly the same way you do needle turn applique. So, but all right. And June says, I like to hand sew my bindings down. It is relaxing. Nice to know your quilt is soon to be done. Yes. And I have another one ready to try and get the quilting done on the domestic machine also, which was the scrappy pinwheels one that I did. That one is also ready to quilt. Thank you, Beverly. Yes, don't forget that thumbs up. If you haven't given the thumbs up yet, hit that like button. You are welcome, Glenda. Yeah, you'll have to check that out because I have large ones going, small ones going. I have a couple that have been gifted to me that I love, but yes, I always am working on a needle book. Good morning, Jersey. It is great to see you. Welcome. And Lynn says, I'm about 100 miles south of Seattle in the mountains. So yeah, it's not, I'm definitely not close enough. Sorry, Lynn. Oh, but yeah, if you want to, be a part just to see some of the patterns that may be doing in that, of course, you will be able to see that in the chat live as well also, but just let me know. Jersey says, I want a needle book making EPP hexes. I'm always pinning the needles to a piece of fabric. Yes, needle books are awesome. And like I say, I always have so many projects going, and that's why I like multiple ones because I keep them in the project and I also have them made for the type of projects that I'm making. If I'm doing hand stitching, that one is for hand stitching. If I'm doing applique, that's for applique. I make them, so I can have the correct supplies and needles and whatever I use for what type of stitching that I am doing in those. So yes, you'll have to make one. And when I do not do English paper piecing hexes. I actually do hexes with the hand stitching method. I sew the hand piecing just the same way that you would hand piece a quilt. I hand piece the seams of them around. They're not turned, so there's nothing on the outside stitched together, which I will, like I said, I know it is the banner in my Facebook group, Captain Stitches and Friends, I believe, that shows the hexes. Those are done by hand piecing. That's how I do them. And so Hamming. Okay, that makes more sense, Andrea. Now I understand. Yeah. Okay. Now I get it because yeah, that is the same as the hemming stitch or applique, whatever, several things. Just like our quilt blocks go by several names, there are stitches that go by several names also. All have different ways that we call them. But yes, that makes more sense because I was going to say I've never heard of the Hemingway stitch. But okay, awesome. Thank you for clarifying that. When you have time, could you post link for the lap? Yes, I will put the link for the lap app in the description box of this video after it is over. I don't put that in before the live because the least information that you have when you are going live in a description box, the more apt the spammers and those type of people are likely to stay away because they look for that kind of stuff and that's what they're looking for, that kind of information and things. So I don't put that in until after the live is over, but it will be in the description box of this video soon after the live is over. I have to take a breather first and then I have to go in and put all that information in, but it will be there. And Jersey said, oh, that's good. That's a good video to make and show us. What, a needle book? Is that what you were saying, Jersey? Or you are probably talking about the hand piecing of the hexes. Yes, I will put that on my schedule and I will see to it that I do a tutorial on that. And it all actually uses a fabric stamp template that you're able to stamp on the back of your fabric and cut those out and then hand piece them. So I will do a video tutorial on that in the near future, Jersey. Thank you. And Carol says, thank you. You are welcome. You are very welcome. But yes, I should have the binding done on this. And of course, there will be a label on it. I normally have my labels ready before I do my binding, and I will still be able to do that because, of course, I'll have to check and make sure. I'm on the bottom, so I will have to add it to this corner since I already started this one. But I put my label in one of the corners so that it is stitched down on two sides with the binding. And then the other, I only have to stitch separately in there afterwards. But yes, I stitched that down so that it is inside the binding. And as another tip, I don't do it for the charity quilts, but if it is a quilt that is going to someone, I also put, I'm going to set that out of the way now, since we're getting close to time or whatever. I also put little leftover pieces of the fabrics that I have used underneath the label and sew them in. And then I let the person know that they are there. So if they ever need to do any repair on their quilt, the same fabrics are already there. They can remove that label, get those fabrics out. They are worn the same as the quilt that way. Every time they wash it, those fabrics are also being washed, and they have some fabrics to do some small repairs if that ever needs to be done on the quilt. Because those of you that have ever had an older quilt and want to have it appraised, if there has been repair work to it and it is not done with the same era, the same fabric that the quilt was done on, it will lower the appraisal value of it because an appraisal goes on the last fabric that was put into that quilt. So if you replace it with newer fabric, it is no longer going to be appraised at the same value as the original and the same era fabric. Just a tip for that if you are ever repairing a quilt and want it, that it's one that you have had appraised. Yes, the hand piecing of the hexies. I like that. Yes, I will do that, Jersey, definitely. So I think I have caught everything that everyone has put in there. If you ever come up with any other ideas that you'd like, and you are a member of either of my Facebook groups, the Friends of Captain Stitches and Friends, or my threads of Captain Stitches Heartfully Given, which is the charity one that I have. You can just put those in a post in there and I will address it that way and see what I can do about getting that on my schedule. Very open to helping with tutorials or during a live like this with anything that it is that I am able to do and show you how to do it. Always love sharing with you. So thank you everyone for joining me this morning. I hope that I have gotten those of you that were wanting to do this project on your way now to knowing what to collect and have ready. And I will be, as I said, doing recorded videos on the steps and process as I do that, and then sharing some of the progress also during my lives so that you will have something to refer back to and see the steps as I go. And Glenda says, so very true. I have learned that after our home and quilts are destroyed several years ago. Yes, yes, on the appraisal portion of that. Yeah. So always be careful if you have an old quilt and you are wanting it repaired. Sometimes it's better not to repair it. If it can't be repaired with the proper fabrics and stuff, it is going to devalue the appraisal if you are concerned about an appraisal value, just so you know that information. Okay, everyone, thank you. It has been awesome chatting with you. Thank you for bearing with me this morning, as yes, I'm not my normal self this morning, a little bit little bit of pain going on, but hey, I'm smiling anyway, and I'm here with you, and I'm still going to have an awesome day. And I hope that you have an awesome day and an awesome weekend coming up. Hope to see many of you tomorrow in the Zoom Stitch Day. Take care, everyone. Have a great time. And remember, in the meantime, I can keep you in stitches. Bye-bye.